Why are you awake so early?
I am awake so early. I have to go to the gym. I get this done. Basically, everyone is awake and interrupts me from work. And I also like an empty chair, so I don't have to wait for anything.
What kind of workout do you have today?
What type of workout do I have today? I am doing legs today. I need to really think about that for a second. Probably because it's too early and my pre-workout hasn't kicked in yet. And I got a new plan yesterday, so I don't even know what's in store for me yet this morning. I'm gonna guess that Coach Paul put step backs on. Loves step backs. Loves them.
Shout out Coach Paul.
I hate them.
We are in program block 2, and essentially we started out with 300 grams of carbs, and I have slowly increased that over the last block. So we went from 300 to 330 to 350, wasn't gaining any weight. I am in growing season or bulking season, so the whole point is to grow and gain weight as well as muscle mass. So that is what the goal is now. I weighed in this morning at 120.9, which is pretty good. So we're finally past that 118 mark that I was kind of stuck at for a little bit. And so we're just going to continue growing. This past week too has been really good in terms of food, life, because it was my birthday. So I just turned 35. So now I'm in masters. And it was good because I got to enjoy a lot of extra calories, a lot of treats, and extra food that I normally don't. My weight didn't go up, it actually kind of stayed the same. So I'm sure my coach will be thrilled with Tuesday check-in to learn that nothing has changed. I did have 2 different training programs that were released to me since the last time that we had spoke. So one was a repeat of the first block, just because I ended up getting sick, and I was sick for about 3-4 weeks with back-to-back illnesses of whatever I had. And so that took a little bit of recovery, because I wasn't feeling the greatest, and I didn't go to the gym 3 days out of 1 week. We decided to just redo that entire program block. So now I am on a new program block this week, which starts tomorrow. So I'm excited to see what is in store for me. I already took a sneak peek, and of course there are step ups. For those of you that have been tracking, those are like my least favorite exercise, just because they hurt. I would much rather do Bulgarian split squats than do step ups, but here we are. So I did have some questions from the last vlog that we posted, so I'm just going to go through some of these with you all. It says, what's your gym routine like? Do you have any rituals you follow before starting a workout? So my one ritual that I do is I make sure I eat, and I usually eat the same thing. The reason why I eat the same thing is because, one, it's easy in the morning, and then two, I know exactly how many carbs are going in my body. I want to consume 25% of my carbs for the day before I go into the gym, so that usually looks like oatmeal or an apple or oatmeal or a banana or something along those lines, some type of fruit paired with some oatmeal. That what I would say is my ritual. The reason why I do that is because I know that that mixture doesn't upset my stomach, and it gives me the right amount of fuel that I need. And also pairing it with pre-workout, I never know how my body's going to react when I'm pairing that much caffeine with food. So I know that this works for me. How do you balance intense training with rest and recovery to avoid burnout? I balance intense training by just following exactly what my coach gives me. I'm paying this man a lot of money to ensure that he is balancing it all out so I don't have burnout. If I start to have burnout, or I start to feel bored with a workout, or maybe not doing my best, I just check in with him either early, write him an email, text, whatever that may be, and he is very responsive, so I get an immediate response back from him on how to, choose something else for the day, or maybe make an adjustment for the following day. We are training 5 days a week with 2 rest recovery days, so right now I don't feel burned out. I really struggle with taking recovery days. Working out for me is as much as it is physical, it is mental for me too. So for my balance right now during recovery days, I'm actually doing like a slow flow mobility program, just to kind of get my body moving. And then I also will take some walks with my son in the late afternoon, just to kind of get a little bit more of a blood flow and rebalancing mentally. So, do you ever experiment with different training styles, powerlifting, bodylifting, CrossFit, to change things up? No. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I don't. I've never entered a CrossFit gym in my life. Powerlifting, I was always scared to lift really heavy, so I didn't want to injure myself, because I thought I would with improper form. And probably 2 years ago, I probably would have injured myself severely, because my form was terrible. So I just do a standard body lifting program that my coach is giving me. I feel like I'm really boring when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I'm like, I am coachable. I listen to my coach and I do exactly what is laid out in front of me. It's much easier. How many days a week do you spend in the gym during bulk, and how do you split your workouts? So I already kind of stated this. I train for 5 days a week with 2 rest days. My split right now is 3 lower body and then 2 upper body. And there is some abs, worked out throughout some of those workouts. So that's kind of really how we're splitting that. Do you train with a workout partner, or do you prefer solo training? I do prefer solo training. However, I am very social in the gym. So if you come up to me, I will 100% talk to you, or have a conversation with you, as long as it's not something that's going to be an extended period of time that, prevents me from doing my job there. I've never had a workout partner. I guess if you want to count my significant other, we work out in the gym at the same time. Does that count? Maybe? No? Not the same? And I did work out with somebody recently. Her name is Jasmine. She wanted some help with some upper body, so I told her that she could, definitely train with me. So we did that one day. That was fun. It was nice. It was nice to break it up. It's hard to do it early in the morning now, because everyone's like trying to get out the door and scheduling everything. So I definitely prefer to do solo. Maybe if I were to have a workout partner on the weekends, it would be a little bit better, just because that way I would have a little bit more time and I'm not so stressed out, like scheduling wise. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'll change it up maybe. It says, you're in bikini class now. Do you ever see yourself in wellness? And what are the differences between the 2 classes? I love the idea of wellness. I would never do wellness. Reason being is that I'm having a hard time already with just bikini and getting muscle mass where I need it. So I think that for me to get to wellness, it would take a lot. It would take a lot for me. And the main differences is the different types of aesthetics. I would say aesthetics, programming, their posing is different, their suits are different. There's a lot of things that they're focused on. So for like bikini, we're focused on like feminine, very soft curves, and toned and lean. And for wellness, they are definitely looking for more muscle mass and defined muscles, muscle groups in those areas. And their posing is totally different. They do a lot more different variations of their poses than what bikini class does. All right, on my home, just finished training legs. Of course, we started out with step backs. Love those. My favorite. It's like dripping with sarcasm. But I trained legs today. It was good. It was overall good. I went up in weight in step backs, and I actually dropped weight in hack squats, but that's because I needed to work on depth. And my butt touched my heels for the first time in my life of doing hack squats. So I finally got the adjustments down that I needed. It was a little scary,
when my heels touched my butt, I was like, this is where I die. I'm never getting up from this. Everyone told me, ass to grass, and it's just gonna be grass. That's it. Not getting up. So, work through that. I also found a new variation of the kickback machine that I like. So, just tipping my toe out a little bit, thanks to Instagram. I targeted my glute because when I was doing kickbacks before, I was targeting a lot of my quad. So just pointing my toe out a little bit actually fired up my glutes a little bit more. So that was good. And then on my hip thrust today, I actually added 20 pounds. I almost died, but pretty sure my butt cheeks are left at the hip thrust machine. But it's there, and this is what trusting the process is like, right? Everyone says trust the process. I used to hate that term, but here we are, trusting the process. Now I get to go home and destroy some food, which I'm excited about. And I'll probably take a nap. Always a nap after.
Says, what's your favorite exercise for building glutes, shoulders, or legs during bulking? I would say probably my favorite exercise right now for lower body would be leg press. I'm pushing a lot of weight, so for me it feels like a power lift, I guess would be the best way to put it. I like how it makes me feel. I hate step ups. I think we can all agree that. I've said that multiple times. It's just I just get through them. I don't enjoy them. I just get through them. And then I'm trying to think what other exercise I enjoy right now. I am starting to kind of enjoy hack squat a little bit more. Reason being is I actually ran into another competitor at the gym. She was doing a different type of variation on hack squat, and she walked me through it. And since I've started doing her variation, I've been successful with getting more depth and a lot more weight on the squat rack. So that seems to be helpful. So I'm seeing a correlation here between more weight equals my favorite. So maybe that's why it makes me feel good, because I know that I'm pushing really, really strong. As far as upper body goes, upper body. What would be my upper body? That's a tough one. I feel like I like my whole upper body like workout days. I don't know if there's a specific exercise. What I like most about the upper body in general is like when I am training upper body, I get a nice pump from it, and it makes me feel good. I would probably say maybe my back, when I'm doing shoulders and back, is probably my favorite day. I like low rows, and I definitely like pull-ups for sure, because I think that I don't know, it makes me feel good. Overall, I really like the exercise, and I like what it does to my back, right? So, but I don't know. I like my whole program. I don't have a specific upper body exercise I like. I like the entire 2 days that I do for my shoulders. How do you handle gym anxiety when you're working out in a crowded space? I go really early in the morning, and there is hardly anybody there. There's the regulars that are there, which are like the same 8 or 9 people in the gym, which is nice. I have gone later in the day where it's crowded, and I do get anxious over it, and my only workaround for that is to try to tune people out as much as possible. So I try not to look at anyone, and I just turn up my music and find a favorite song of mine, and I tune into that immediately. So that's kind of how I am dealing with that anxiety, I guess, for the most part. What is your approach to gym etiquettes? Do I have any pet peeves or things you appreciate about fellow gym goers? This is a good question. Gym etiquette. Please wipe things down. This is obviously coming from someone who just spent 3 to 4 weeks being sick straight, so germs, gross. I don't want to pick up your germs. So wiping it down and unracking weight. So the last thing I want to do is when I go over to a hack squat is then, or any machine for that matter, is unload the 5 plates that are on there so that I can, figure out what I'm doing before I even get started. I do not need you to warm me up by making me unrack your weights for you. I'm already warmed up. Thank you, appreciate it. Just put your weights away. I also have like a little bit of OCD, so when I see people when they unrack the weights and then they put like a 45 plate on where the 25 plates go and then stack a 25 plate right behind it, I'm looking at the rack and I'm like, you can clearly see it goes 10, 25, 45. There's a pattern here. No? No one else sees that? Just me? Okay. Rude people. I don't like rude people at the gym. I definitely don't like rude people. Like if someone's rude to you, it can make or break your workout. Most of the time, I have so much rage that if someone's rude to me, I'm just like, thank you for the fuel for my workout now. And then what do I appreciate about fellow gym goers? I think the relationships you build with people. So everyone's there for different reasons. Everyone has different goals, and it's kind of nice, kind of like check in with one another. I have a friend of mine that she doesn't compete at all, and we had a conversation this past week about her competing in wellness, and I'm pretty excited for her. So we're gonna have a conversation, and she wants me to help with her posing. I know nothing about wellness posing, so it'll be interesting. I'll be there for moral support, and then obviously if I sit in on some of her like posing coach sessions, I can kind of be able to absorb some of that information. But I think it's really cool. I have another friend who's trying to lose weight and, get a better sense of her workouts and stuff like that. And I think that journey is cool. So checking in with her and making some of those connections. And then also just seeing the same people doing the same thing. They're not motivated to be there every day, but they're consistent. And that's going to, go a lot longer than someone who's motivated. I think motivation is a short-term fix for a lot of things. You can motivate yourself to get through something really quickly, or you have consistency to build out a routine and build out that lifestyle. So I really appreciate when I see the same people there every single morning when I'm there, because I know that we're all in it together. We're all being consistent and trying to build towards a better version of ourselves. How do you get past the mental block of not wanting to go to the gym, and do you ever feel not motivated? I just went right into that, didn't I, without even knowing. It has been raining here in Virginia for 2.5 weeks. The walls are painted gray and the walls match the outside. It was not planned that way. But I just feel like everything has been gloomy and wet and disgusting outside, and I do not want to get out of this beautiful bed. I just want to stay in bed. So yeah, I do have to motivate myself in terms of reminding myself why I'm here, what I'm doing, what are my long-term goals. And sometimes I just repeat those goals in my head when I'm going through my workout. So if I feel like I'm struggling through that workout, I just repeat the same goals over and over again to kind of remind myself, like, this is why you're here. This is what you're doing. I also talk about it too, like when I get to the gym, if someone's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, good, I didn't feel like getting here. And sometimes they'll say the same thing, or sometimes they're like, oh, you're here, and you're just like, go and get it done. And it's kind of like that quick accountability check with the other person, and then you're off on your way. And what I have found is that normally when I don't feel like going to the gym, or I'm not motivated to be there, it turns out to be one of the best workouts I've had for the whole week, or even the whole program that I'm doing. So definitely showing up for yourself. That's important. That's what keeps me motivated, is showing up for me, why I'm there, the whys. So how do you approach gym fashion? And do you have any favorite brands or styles that make you feel confident while training? I got this sweatshirt off TikTok. I don't know if I'm like the fashion person to be asking this. My fashion is Amazon and leggings. I wear the same thing over and over again. I have like the same outfits lined up. If I'm doing upper body, I'll wear leggings. If I'm doing lower body, I wear shorts. But I'm not a fashionista at all. Now, if you want to talk about coffee, we can talk about coffee all day. But clothes, I'm not your girl. I have no idea. Do you struggle with traveling and staying on pace? Yes, I do actually. So during this last program block, I had some work travel that was planned and going to conferences, and it was extremely hard to track what I was eating. It wasn't hard to get my workouts in because it's like same schedule in the morning, get up, go, get it done, knock it out. But when you're eating out or when you're buying from the grocery store, you're kind of limited when you're in a hotel of like you have a microwave and maybe a fridge, depending on what that looks like. So traveling is always difficult, especially when you're trying to track your macros. My hack for that is I try to get prepackaged food. So like oatmeal, for instance, is like individual packets that you can rip open, so you generally know what they are going to be. I do pack a scale with me. This last conference I went to, I actually didn't pack a scale. I thought it was gonna be fine, and it wasn't. I had such anxiety about what I was eating and how much I was eating because I couldn't weigh my food, which for most people are like, oh, are you because you were like overeating? No, my thing is like I undereat. So I was freaking out that I wasn't getting enough protein, wasn't getting enough carbs, wasn't this, that, and the other. It was just like so uncomfortable mentally the entire time about what I was consuming. So I know that I definitely missed the mark on that, but it was only 3 days, so we got through it. We're here. And the nice thing is the couple people around me are also either track their macros or aware of it too at the conference. So it's kind of nice because they were kind of sharing the same issues I was. And this woman next to me said, I can understand that you're uncomfortable. I have a lot of friends who compete. And for me, it's always been a struggle to lose weight, but for them, it's always been a struggle to gain weight. But either way, no matter if you're trying to gain or lose, there's a lot of anxiety around food, especially if you can't track it properly. And like, yeah, this person gets it. Going into this program, I did get a new program a couple days ago from my coach for my check-in. All my check-ins have been spot on, so he's happy with the progress I'm making and the weight that I'm pushing at the gym. He wants my hunger levels to be down a little bit. I'm at 350 grams of carbs right now, 160 grams of protein, and 60 grams of fat. And after the gym, and usually like right before I wake up in the morning, I am starving. And I'm usually starving at like one point during the late afternoon, which is about like now. He's a little concerned that I'm burning through this food too much. I guess we'll wait and see. But my physical measurements have always been good. I did see my physical measurements change from my week 1 of starting with Coach Paul. My glutes and my thighs have changed. Pretty much the rest of my physical measurements haven't changed. My waist has shrunk, which is good. That's what we want. We want a shrinking waist. Overall, he seemed to be really happy with my shape. I do have a meeting with him this coming Wednesday just to kind of discuss a path forward for prep. So we'll see what that looks like. Even though I'm competing in summer 2025, we do have to start picking out our shows and exactly trying to figure out that timeline of when we're going to start prepping. I'm sure I'll regret saying this, but like I'm excited. I'm excited to start prepping, and I want to know when I'm going to start cutting. This weekend was great. I mean, my significant other bought me like all these gluten-free treats from this bakery that was delicious. It's in DC. I think it's called Sweet Crimes, and it was amazing. I got to enjoy all that. I'm sure once I start prep and I start cutting, I will think how lucky I was that I could eat all this stuff. But I'm also excited to see what's underneath everything. So we'll see. We will see how it goes. I think that's it. I will keep you all posted on how it goes. I also post a lot more on Instagram. I've tracked progress on Instagram and TikTok, so definitely check in and make sure if you want to post a question or something like that for the next vlog, you can do so there. And I will be sure to add it to the list and we can go through it. All right, thanks.